What's going on, everybody? We're gonna get ready to get the show started in just a little bit. I know this is Thanksgiving time, and I know that's coming up a lot. I know a lot of you are probably either beginning to cook or have already started or got loved ones that are doing some cooking. So I'm gonna try my best not to hold you long, and we're definitely gonna have a good time on this show. We're definitely gonna try to talk about how this Titan team could possibly find a way to win this game, and try to find a way to salvage this season as it is really starting to head off the rails quite a bit. Um, we're definitely going to get into that, and we're definitely going to get into a lot more. And we're definitely going to talk about this team, just what is going on with them, what can they do. I mean, is this team lost? Is Vrabel even the right guy to lead this team going forward? And that's definitely a question that I think a lot of people you know, need an answer to. And we're definitely going to go into all of that and then some. And so we're definitely going to discuss that together. And I hope everybody go ahead and share this show out and and let everybody know where they can come on in and join the conversation. And we're going to get everything started here in less than 60 seconds. So come on in. We're definitely going to have a good conversation and let's get this show started.
Hope you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter and
What's going on, everybody? Titan Nation, how's everybody doing? Welcome into TNT tonight. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. We're gonna have a very good episode on this evening. Before we do get going, I want to first of all wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, everybody will have a very good Turkey Day. And of course, I'm actually sitting here watching the Memphis Tigers and the Michigan Wolverines and some college basketball. I like both of these teams, but I am a Tigers fan, so I'm a Tigers fan first. So I am cheering for the Memphis Tigers to win this game. But I'm definitely any other time I will be a fan of the Wolverines as well. So right now, about 5:16 to go. I think it's on ESPN2. My Memphis Tigers are up 3 right now. So they were up as much as 16, but I need them to kind of finish this game off. But Michigan ain't letting them. So, I'm definitely trying to enjoy some college ball. right now and everything. But what I want everybody else to enjoy doing is sharing this show out. Go ahead and share it out, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Definitely go ahead and show that out. Share that out to everybody so everybody will know where to come and everything. And also, make sure you download on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I just put out some of the latest episodes on there as well. This episode will be out there as also. And then everybody come on in and give a like to the show, and also go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that way you'll know all the notifications. You'll get all the notifications when I do go live. So that way you will know what's up, and you will know, you'll be in the know of what's going on and everything. So definitely make sure that you do that as well. And so we're gonna get started with the show. Of course, um, after the Titans lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, I mean, right now morale is at an all-time low right now, and it's like, you can definitely tell there are some issues. There are some questions of, is it that we don't have enough talent? Do we have the right coaching? Um, is the offensive line coach terrible? Is you got a bunch of reshuffling going around with the offensive line, and now of course, Chris Hubbard, of course, is now going to be out for the remainder of the season with a bicep injury. So now we got another offensive lineman that we have to replace, and of course, according to, I believe that was Teron Davenport coming out, that Vrabel has stated um, that they're going to try to work Jalen Duncan on the left side. They're going to put Dylan Radins back to the right side, and then they're going to work Andre Dillard back in off a concussion protocol. And I, and I will say this, and I've already said this before, if Mike Vrabel is messed up enough to put Andre Dill Picklard back in at left tackle at all, Mike Vrabel needs to be fired immediately. I'm already done with him. I'm already calling for his head already. But again, it might be time. And, it makes me ask the question to you: is Mike Vrabel on the hot seat, in your opinion? And I'm not even talking about, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, of course, if they lose this game. My Tigers just hit a big shot, so they're going up 4. But is Mike Vrabel in trouble? Is Mike Vrabel in danger of losing his job this season? Because leave it to the majority of the media, is basically a shoo-in that he's coming back. That no matter what happens this season, there is no way Mike Vrabel can lose his job. Because, everybody has made every excuse in the world for him. That people like, Joe Rexrode, and as much as I love Miss Teresa, and some of the media have have basically said, well, he doesn't have the talent, and he has no talent to work with. And don't get me wrong, I get all of that. I mean, there is a lack of talent on this team. I do get that. But it comes a point where you can't use that excuse anymore. Everybody, people will always, want to go back to, it's John Robinson's fault. It's John Robinson's fault. And it gets to a point you can't use that excuse anymore because you have already fired John Robinson. Yes, has he had some misses? Absolutely. But everybody want to blame John Robinson for that. But you remember, and we're having issues with the talent, not getting the most out of your talent. Wasn't it just a couple of years ago in 2021 when we went through 91 players? 91 players we went through. And somehow we still got the number one seed in the AFC. Derrick Henry was out the majority of the year, was thought to be done for the season. A.J. Brown in and out of the lineup. Julio in and out of the lineup. Yet somehow we still survived and got the number one seed. Nobody talks about that. Everybody praises Vrabel for that. Oh, God, Vrabel did such a great job. Vrabel is such a great coach. But now you're in this season where you ended last season losing 7 in a row. And now you've lost 14 of your last. You're 3-14 in your last 17 ball games. You've lost 5 of your last 6 this season. You've lost 10 straight games away from Nissan Stadium. Any other coach would have been fired by now. But yet, a lot of people in the media, a lot of national media want to give him a pass. That it's not his fault. Yes, John Robinson has some misses, but we all talk about offensive line. Am I right? And I'm going to get to some of your comments in a minute. AZ Bick, what's going on? He says everything is going wrong. I agree. Aiden, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. But you praised Mike Vrabel in 2021. Oh, he's so great. Got the most out of his talent. 91 players. He did so great. You're having the same issue this year. You're kind of having to go through the roster trying to find guys. Granted, you're not having, and then also you're not really having the same injury bug that you had before. Yeah, you got a few players here and there out. You know, Hubbard's out. Traylon Burks just seems like he's a lost cause. You know, Tannehill just coming back from injury. Sean Murphy-Bunting might be back, but you're nowhere near what you had to go through in 2021. Yet you can't get what you need out of this roster now. This offensive line was not that great then. You had to plug in Tyson Brilo, David Quesenberry, Kendall Lamb during that season, and you still did fine. So what was the difference? And that's because I think the message has gotten stale. It's gotten old. Players are not as bought in, even though they say they are. Who put this offensive line together? And then I saw Lou Man saying, fire Rand. Why? Rand just got here. Be different if he was the general manager, you know, when Vrabel started. Okay, maybe I give you that. You already fired the general manager. You already did that. You can't do that again. What's up, B-Pain? Tyson said, what if Levis gets his groove back, destroys the Panthers, we win 35-3? Do we tank or see if we could beat the impossible and be the 7th seed at 10-7? First of all, you're not going 10-7. You're not going 10-7 because that means you got to go undefeated the rest of the way, and that's not going to happen. I don't think we're going to blow the Panthers out either. I can see Levis getting his groove back. You know, yeah, we'd like to see him get a couple of wins. But a lot of y'all need to get this notion of, oh, we can still go 10-7 or 9-8 and make the playoffs. No, we're not making the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. You might as well get the playoffs out of your mind. I'm like, who's that coach? Playoffs? You can't, Jim Moore. Playoffs? You kidding me? We're not even winning the game. Playoffs? Playoffs? Talk about playoffs. Man, please. Playoffs are nowhere near in our future. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out there right now. Sorry if I'm being a Debbie Downer. Sorry I don't have, the greatest confidence in the world. But, hey, y'all know what I do. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. And that's just the truth. But I'm not going to sit here and fire. And I've heard that notion, like I heard Jared on his show, like Caroline Willie D-Base, they were talking about it as far as, you know what, it is on the coaching because you can't blame John Robinson anymore. John Robinson is fired. A lot of the guys that he drafted are not on this team anymore. He has a few left. But a lot of those guys he drafted are gone. 2020 draft class, with the exception of Christian Fulton, gone. 2021, yeah, those guys are here, but we'll see. But who put this offensive line together? Who put this offensive line together? That would be Mike Vrabel. And everybody want to say maybe it was him and Rand. But, of course, Amy Adams Strunk gave Mike Vrabel more power. And she basically had Mike Vrabel in the room helping him decide who is the general manager. So basically, Mike Vrabel is responsible, if not more responsible, for this than Rand. And there's some people that want to fire Rand Carthon and just tear the house down and start over, which I think we need to clean house, but I think we should let Rand clean the house. And Brandon comes and says, has anyone from the locker room said anything? Has he lost the locker room? At least they haven't quit. Some of John Robinson's signings are still there. That team was more talented. Yeah, but you had to go through practice squad guys from other teams. And Jaleel Johnson, who just got cut, basically said, well, they trying to fix the defense so much when we're not the problem. Of course, he's deleted that tweet, but he said that going out. You're hearing a lot of guys talk about how much they're frustrated. Derrick Henry trying to stick up for Vrabel, and I mean, of course he's going to stick up for Vrabel. I'm not surprised. And Goku says Dillard needs a serious career in the injury. Yeah, I agree with some of the other. Goku, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Yes, Dillard sucks. Yes, Dillard sucks. But I'm not going to wish that. Now, come on. Lou Man said Mike ain't high like Randy is, but Mike ain't answering the questions either. We got Rocky Boy. What's going on? So, right now, there is a lot of things that need to be done. A lot of soul searching that has to be done. And we're definitely going to find out. This season is not a sober season. You're right about that. No lies told. So, and then a lot of people like Aiden coming in and saying, well, he ain't on the hot seat. Roster was trashed before the season started. Yes, it's the talent. We don't have it right now. Amy knows Vrabel doesn't have the talent. But here's the thing about that. Here's where I disagree with you on. Here's where I disagree with you on. What did Mike Vrabel come out and say around the draft after Rand Carthon was hired? Everybody said it was time to rebuild, that you have a chance to rebuild, that you could get Trey Tanny, maybe Trey Henry, Trey Byard, get some picks, start the rebuild process. Could have started the rebuild process already. And what does Mike come out and do? Hey, Miss Chandra, how you doing, sweetie? And what does he do? He comes out and says, they're not rebuilding, that we can win now, that we can compete for the playoffs, we can compete for the AFC South. Mike Vrabel basically forced Rand Carthon to agree with him and be like, we're not rebuilding. We're not rebuilding. We can win now. Did some of y'all forget him saying that? Did some of y'all forget that? Mike Vrabel basically said, I don't believe in rebuilding, that we can win right now. He wanted to run it back one more time because he believes so much in Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. Don't get me wrong, I love Derrick Henry too. And now it's blowing up in his face. Now everybody want to say, oh, it's a talent problem. It's a talent problem. It's John Robinson's fault. Some of y'all bought that. Some of y'all drunk that Kool-Aid in a very similar way as I did. And all of us at the time thought Andre Dillard was a decent signing. Come to find out it's not. Arden Key, we thought was a good signing. Might not be so much. Alex comes in and says, Randy's a fair shake, no handcuffs. I agree totally. And Amy Adams Strong says she wants to win Super Bowl. Right now, Mike Vrabel ain't doing it. Carolina needs to beat us so Vrabel can get fired. But I feel Amy doesn't care about this team winning the Super Bowl. I mean, she claims she wants a Super Bowl, but the problem is, we're hearing from guys like John McClain, and others who are close to the situation. And they all want to say, Miss Amy just loves Mike Vrabel. She loves Mike Vrabel. Can't do it without him. She basically chose Mike Vrabel over John Robinson, which gives you more reason to know that he is more in control than you think. And she wanted this collaboration. He didn't do that before with John Robinson. She didn't say, oh, yeah, with John Robinson, Mike Mularkey. There was no collaboration. John Robinson was the general manager. He got to hire his guy. They let Mike Mularkey go, and he was winning. And everybody want to praise Mike Vrabel, but remember, Mike Vrabel took over a roster that was somewhat already built and just needed some extra pieces. He took over a team that went to the playoffs, won a game. Mike Vrabel has never had to build from the ground up. And the way that he's acting, he doesn't want to. Now, Alex, you sure right about that. She loved John Robinson too. We see what happened there. Yep. That's true. That is absolutely 100% true. She did say she loved John Robinson, and she fired him. She fired him. She sure did. XD Gamer thinking that I'm dumb. Talking about it's Tim Kelly's fault. Well, who hired Tim Kelly? Who hired Tim Kelly? Tim Kelly didn't bring himself here. So come on, man. I know you're smarter than that. Yes, Tim Kelly is the offensive coordinator, and he ain't exactly great in the red zone. And he waits too late to dial up the best plays. But who hired him? Who promoted him to offensive coordinator? Bingo. You got your answer. So the fact of the matter is this. I don't think Mike Vrabel is the right guy for this team anymore. And I don't think I don't think he would. Do you think you would trust him to be the right guy to lead a rebuild? I don't think Mike Vrabel is the type of coach that wants to rebuild. I don't think he wants to rebuild. I mean, he's come out after this game saying he doesn't anticipate making any coaching changes. He's not changing a thing. He's going to ride this thing out. And I'm telling you, he's putting himself in Mike Mularkey territory. Mike Mularkey wasn't that bad of a coach, but all he had to do was fire Terry Robisky. He still would have had a job. He decided he wanted to die on a hill for his guys, and that's why he got fired. Mike Munchak, same thing. He died on the hill for Bruce Matthews and some of the guys on his staff. That's how he got fired. Mike Munchak really wasn't that bad of a coach either. I mean, they had a 9-7, 6-10, it's somewhere in the middle. But loyalty can get you fired. Loyalty can get you fired. And I think Mike Vrabel is doing the exact same thing. He is getting himself fired. Now, Steven says, it's a hard decision, but there are a lot of great minds out there that need a chance at coaching. Look at Miami. And that's the thing. Do you wait? Do you do it? Do you make the change too early or do you make the change too late? People saying, well, he should get another, like Teron Davenport, my guy. I love him, but I have to respectfully disagree with him where they say, you give him another chance next season, and then if things aren't going well in the first 4 games, then you make the change. But my thing to that is, why wait? Why wait? Go ahead, get rid of him at the end of the year, unless you could trade him. Now, if you can trade him to New England, if New England wants him bad enough, I would either take their first-round pick this year and next year, and maybe a 2, because they might be crazy enough to do it if they want Vrabel bad enough. Or we do a pick swap. You give me your 2nd and 3rd and your number 1 next year, and I'll probably ask for a number 2 next year too. You trade them. And then if you can't get them traded, then you fire them. That's what I would do. But if you can't trade them, then you fire them at the end of the season. Because there are a lot of good minds. Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick, Eric Bieniemy, Brian Johnson in Philly, just to name a few, that could probably come in here and be a good coach. So there are a lot of things that can go this way. And if you do it now, And my guy Morocco from Titans Coliseum made a very good point. He said, right now you don't have Will Levis. And my Tigers are holding on by a thread. Had the game up 7 and they can't seem to figure it out. I'm like, oh my God, are we seeing 2008 all over again? But if, right now, you didn't draft Will Levis with 11, so you don't have that 5th-year option. If you keep Vrabel, you could be potentially stunning Will Levis's growth. Instead of getting an offensive mind in here, getting him groomed, getting him, better, and he has 3 years left. If you keep Vrabel, then you've just wasted another year, and then another coach has to come in, and he'll only have 2 years. And then after that first year, after his 3rd season, you got to decide if you're probably going to re-sign him and pay a whole bunch of money before his 4th season. If you go ahead and make the change now, you give the new head coach and Will Levis 2 years together. If you don't draft a quarterback in this first draft, we'll get to that in a minute. But you would give Will Levis 2 years with this coach, with a new coach, before you have to decide if you're about ready to fork over $60 million a year. Because believe me, you're going to be paying over $200 million for Will Levis in about the next 3 years, in about the next 4 years. So you got to, I think you got to make the change either now or at the end of the season, which leads me to coming up this week. And we'll talk about that in a second. Clay says, blockbuster trade Belichick for Vrabel. No, we ain't taking Belichick. I don't want him. He's old. He's old. He's done. He's probably going to retire more than anything. He's going to want to go to a spot where he has full control. Ms. Amy ain't going to let that happen. AZ Big said, make the trade, make the change now. Look at what the Raiders are doing. I agree. So I would make the change at the end of the season. If you can't trade them, you fire them. It's over. And Clay, I guess you weren't paying attention to what I said earlier. Get an offensive-minded head coach. Bobby Slowick, offensive coordinator in Houston, formerly with the 49ers, who Rand is familiar with. Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator in Detroit. Brian Johnson, offensive coordinator, former quarterback coach in Philly. Eric Bieniemy, just to name a few. Just to name a few. And I'm proud of our boys. The Memphis Tigers just won in the battle for Atlantis, so they'll play tomorrow, either Stanford or Arkansas. So they got a tough win, but they almost gave it up at the end. So congratulations to my Memphis Tigers. But you got to get yourself, and I'm with Alex, you got to get this team ready because you got a new stadium coming. You got to have a winning product by the time you go to that new stadium. They're already probably charging out the wazoo for PSLs, and I'm waiting till that stadium opens. So I would definitely do that. But let me get your two-tone blue star of the week nominees. I mean, honestly enough, it's really not too many guys that deserve the nomination. I mean, I'm probably just going to go ahead and give the award to the one guy that I think probably deserves it, and that would be Big Jeff, because Big Jeff has played his tail off. Big Jeff played his tail off. I give him that. And he got the big man touchdown. So I definitely like that. Now, Brandon's saying we don't have an interim head coach on the roster. Might as well ride this out. Pour it up and roll out and bust. Now, I'm saying if you do replace Vrabel in the middle of the year, I might look at a Terrell Williams, maybe Tim Kelly. I'm not saying any decision is a good one. Any decision probably is not a good one. I'll say that right now. But I would probably look at either Tim Kelly or Terrell Williams, maybe, at least to get us through the season. Then you go get a new head coach. But my two-tone blue star of the week, I'm going to go ahead. Brandon says, Will Levis for surviving the beatdown. Clay goes Bayern for the pick Monday night. They got to be Titans. Although, shout out to Bayern, you know. So I'm going to say the two-tone blue star of the week, Big Jeff. Dunce of the day could go to everybody else. Mike Vrabel, Tim Kelly for calling good plays after you're already blown out. Shane Bowen, who I'm really starting to believe is not that good of a defensive coordinator, and that Jim Schwartz really had the bigger hand in all of this. Eric Guerra fumbling on a punt. Ryan Stonehouse didn't really have a good day either. So, there's a lot of ways we can go with that, but I got to stick with Ray Bum because I like this one from Brandon says schedule maker, scouting department. Not bad because they didn't scout this game very well. Alex says Chig's hands. Now that's not a bad thought either because Chig, one of his opportunities, he would have had a first down if he had just caught the football. AZ Big says Garrett Dunce for that fumble. Yeah, because it led to scoring. Aaron Brewer, bad snaps. So I'm gonna say the dunce of the day is Jason Houderling, along with Mike Vrabel, because I just don't think Vrabel can coach anymore. And Jason Houderling is a perfect example. This guy was the assistant offensive line coach. And he obviously doesn't know how to coach an offensive line because it's bad enough. Okay, I can see where one guy, Andre Dillard, absolutely sucks, and he does. But dagrabbit, Peter Skoronski hasn't gotten better since the first few weeks. I mean, Dylan Raiders, they just won't play him at his natural position. Aaron Brewer is just as skinny and as stiff as a $2 steak, can't pick up twists. Brunskill, and Jalen Duncan, we have yet to see yet. So we're about to find out. But Houderling, I've always said it. If it's one or two players not performing well, it's usually those one or two players. But if your entire unit is not performing well, then it's a coaching issue. Clay says Titan might bomb that draft pick. You know what? Anything is possible. Look at Carolina. They probably think they bombed with Bryce Young instead of going with C.J. Stroud. Alex says, Vrabel love his $2 steak. Yeah, you're right about that. So I say Jason Houderling, the offensive line coach, is done to the day with a subset of Mike Vrabel because he hired him. Because this offensive line is bad. And it just doesn't look like anybody is improving, which I agree. I don't think anybody on this team is improving. We see a lot of guys who are really good regressing, and that's not good. Aiden says, who knows what's going on behind closed doors? I don't really see Amy firing Vrabel if Vrabel wants Harrison Jr. I haven't heard that. I mean, I don't know if she really wants to fire him either. But sometimes, like in those relationships, it's like, you know what they say? If you really love somebody, you let them go. If you know they're hurting you, as much as you love them, you let them go. And Alex is right. Without D-Hop, this team, I think without D-Hop, they might win one. They might only have one win, if that. So that's my dunce of the day. But let's do a quick stock up, stock down. And I'm going to just go ahead and go stock up and get that out the way. I said Big Jeff, because he played his tail off. DeAndre Hopkins, getting another touchdown. I believe it's his 75th touchdown. Has 155 straight games with a catch. Already has more yards than our leading receiver from last year. And Jalen Duncan, And I know people say, why you put Jalen Duncan on there? He hasn't really done anything. And that's because in the limited snaps that he played, didn't do too bad. Now, he looked a little slow coming out of the stance, but he held up. But he's got to be careful with that going up against different pass rushers. Other pass rushers might be able to get around him a little bit quicker. So we're definitely going to see about that. But then they're stock down. And I put it mainly on these guys. Mike Vrabel's stock continues to plummet. And if it keeps plummeting like this, New England Patriots ain't going to want to trade for him. They're just going to wait till we fire him, and then they'll do it at this rate. But we'll see. Shane Bowen, I think he's more of a product of what Jim Schwartz did. I think Jim Schwartz had more of a hand on the defense than we thought. And Aaron Brewer is just not that good of a center. I would like to see Corey Levin get a shot. Can't hurt. It cannot hurt at all. Now I'm going to read some of y'all stuff. Let's see. Alex says, stock up, draft pick. Brandon says, stock up, new stadium. How y'all feel about Rob Moore? I'm a little tired. I don't know. That is a really good question. I mean, I think Rob Moore is a decent wide receiver coach. I mean, he used to play wide receiver, and he was around to help A.J. Brown become who he is. So I do see the point. But, I mean, yeah, if you're going to clean house, you clean the entire coaching staff. That would include Rob Moore. What about Harris? I thought it was a DB guru. That is a huge disappointment because it seemed like Chris Harris was this great guru of a defensive back guy that some people were, and he's the passing game defensive coordinator, I think, as well. I want to say. So let me see. Because I want to say Chris Harris is the let's see. Yeah. Chris Harris is the defensive backs coach and a defensive pass game coordinator. Yeah. He is. He is the passing game defensive coordinator. So basically, it's his job to help the Titans stop the pass, in which you see them playing so much off coverage, which I don't like. I don't like that. So, yeah, I am kind of down on Chris Harris too. But let's get into this game and let's talk about the Carolina Panthers, because the Panthers are coming in at 1-9. Look like they're destined for the number 1 pick. This could be the toilet bowl. Like, the loser of this game could truly say they are the worst team in the NFL. He said Craig Ackerman should have been gone. And Jared Stillman has been on you need to fire Craig Ackerman yesterday train. So, Titans, Panthers. Panthers coming in 1-9, just got their butts kicked by the Dallas Cowboys, 33-10. And we're coming off of a loss too. And I think, honestly enough, there's a lot of things that can go into this game. You got Levis, who, had a pre-draft visit with the Panthers and dinner and stuff, but they were never going to pick him at 1. They were always going to either pick Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. And I think Will Levis might feel some type of way about that. You got Bryce Young struggling. Both of their starting guards are out. So you're thinking, yeah, the defense might have a chance here. But you also take a look at Carolina. Their defense is actually pretty good too. Carolina, Carolina is their 6th in total defense in yards. They're 24th against the run, but they're 6th against the pass. And they're not very good offensively. But they do hang their hat on defense, and it's not easy to pass on them. What I worry about is the problem that every team has done against us. Every team that has struggled has found a way to get right against us. And that could be a problem. I mean, I was listening to Blaine and Mickey earlier today. And I think they had a Carolina beat reporter with them. And, he said it. He was like, if we were going up against a San Francisco or maybe a San Francisco or Kansas City, it'd be like, oh, no. Like, we know we have no chance. But he said coming into this game, this could be where Carolina might actually think they may have a chance in this game. Especially if you give them a little bit of confidence early, they're going to think they could win. They don't want the Bears to have as high of a pick as they could possibly get. So they want to win. They don't want the Bears to have the number 1 pick. They don't want the Bears to be drafting that high. So they want to win. And what we've seen over the last few weeks, teams like Tampa, teams like Pittsburgh, teams like Jacksonville, all have come off losses and have found a way to get right against us. And that's going to be the problem. Which leads me to my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Number 1, you finally play a home game for the first time in about a month. Use that to your advantage. Give your fans something to cheer for. Use the home crowd to your advantage. Build off of that. Number 2, and this is the problem that the Titans tend to have. Don't play down to your competition. That is something the Titans do tend to do. Like we've seen with Vrabel teams, what they say, the Vrabel special, that you play up, you win games that you normally aren't supposed to win. But yet we have the reverse Vrabel special where they lose games. That you normally don't lose. So that's the issue. That is the issue. And that's the thing that I do tend to worry about, is that they can play down to their competition. And that won't be good for anybody. That could get you beat. Number 3, In conjunction with that, don't give them any confidence. Don't give them any confidence early. If you're going to win this game, you get out on them early. This cannot be no close ball game late in the fourth quarter. It can't be a 13-10 or 16-13 or, 14-13 type game in the fourth quarter. Because you know what? That means Carolina's going to believe they have a shot to win. Don't let them get an early score. Don't let them just go right down the field and score a touchdown on their first drive or get points in the first quarter, because then you're giving them confidence and they're going to believe they have a chance. Don't give them that. And finally, number 4, as the late Al Davis would say, just win, baby, win. Doesn't matter how you do it. As Dominic Toretto would say, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or by a mile. It doesn't matter if you win by a point or by 31 points. Winning is winning. Just win, baby. So again, those are about 4 blue enforcer, 4 points to victory. Use home field to your advantage. Don't play down to your competition. Don't give them any confidence. And just win, baby. Just win. But here's the thing. And JS75 says, don't sleep on Carolina defense. They got speed on their front 4. Yeah, Carolina's good against the pass. They got guys like Brian Burns. They got a big man in Derek Brown, who Aaron Brewer has struggled against big defensive tackles. We see that with Vita Vea. Alex says, if Carolina wins, I believe Vrabel might be fired Monday. Well, moment of truth. Who do I choose to win? I kind of gave y'all a spoiler on Monday. I think Carolina wins. I think Carolina wins this game, and the Tennessee Titans are on the way to the number 1 pick. Well, they may not get the number 1 pick, but they're in conversation for being at least in the top 3. They are at least in the conversation for the number 1 pick. I do think the Titans lose this game because I don't think the morale is good enough. I think that Giants game took a lot out of them. They got their butts kicked. Vrabel seemed like he doesn't have any answers. I am scared he's going to put Andre Dillard right back out there and left tackle when he doesn't deserve it. And I think Vrabel is going to coach his way to a loss. Goku, you stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Now I may have to time you out for a minute, Goku, because you wish a serious injury on somebody. Come on, man. Would you want somebody to say that about you? Yes, Dillard sucks, but again, stop all of that. Come on, yeah. JC75, let's lose on purpose so we can get the number 1 pick. Might not hurt. AZ Big says, Titans on the way to rock bottom with the loss. We might be there. And Alex is like, I think the room is divided and not interested. Yeah, because I mean, you got defensive guys basically saying, you know, the offense ain't doing their part. The offense ain't pulling up their end of the bargain. So, yeah. I mean, again, do not be surprised if the Carolina Panthers win this game. I don't want y'all to be shocked if that happens, because I'm going to be like, because y'all can come back and be like, Truth, you said it. You're going to be like, Truth, you called it. Just watch. Watch. So that's kind of what I think is going to be the case. But since it's Thanksgiving, first of all, I want to give thanks to each and every one of you. I want to give thanks to all of y'all for sticking with me and for tuning into the show. Because y'all didn't have to. And I want to say thank you to all of y'all for helping grow this channel. We're going to keep trying to grow. We're going to keep trying to do better and things like that. So I definitely appreciate that. I'll be shocked if it ends in a tie. I think we all would be. Ties are like a box of chocolates. We don't know what we're going to get. You ain't lying about that. You are not lying. We don't know what we about to get. We got sweet potato pie. Need a few slices. And Over Chicken did ask me a question. Said, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Ooh. First, I would normally say some macaroni and cheese is incredible. It's my favorite side dish of all time. But I would say some good dressing with cranberry sauce. I love me some good dressing and cranberry sauce. That is delicious. Titan South says, imagine a miracle happens. We finished 10-7, number 7 seed, made the Super Bowl. Titan South, that would be a miracle. That would be a miracle of miracles. I mean, I love you dreaming. I mean, I know that is the sweetest dream you could come up with, but come on back to reality, because you know that ain't gonna happen. That's all that is, a dream. Alex says, blessings from Canada. Happy day. Well, appreciate you watching in from Canada, Alex. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and come on back anytime. And again, all y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, because I know all y'all didn't do it. And hit that subscribe button as well, because we are about ready to wrap this show up. Tyson says, imagine. I know what you're saying. But y'all, I just had to have a little bit of fun with everybody, you know. Again, I do hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time with your families. I'm gonna definitely enjoy time with mine after I work tomorrow and everything. But I do want to say thank you to everybody for tuning into the show. I'm your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. And everybody, again, have a happy Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble. Eat some good food, because that's all what I'm going to have to do. And at the end of the day, just like the gobble gobbles, we got to tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.